What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Thank you for listening in. I go back in. As always, I'm holding things down on my own. Eric and Kyle, they're still with us here on the show. Don't get shit fucked up. They're still with us, just with us here unscared while I do this episode. A lot to get into for episode 83. We're going to talk about the whole Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B Twitter war that's going on. I guess you say we'll talk about Dame Dash and his run in with Breakfast Club and how this is all playing out with him. Before we get into our first topic, with that being I just want to say with this episode, we're going to try something different. We're going to be doing a video podcast, especially if you're listening over on Spotify. I think everywhere else is just going to be audio. I'm not sure if any other forms they do video podcasts. I know Spotify is doing that right now too. So I figured I'd try it out with you guys. So this is, what I look like. This is my mug if you're viewing me on Spotify. And but you can also see what the other thing is like down. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook or things like that. So yeah, you can just see what y'all look like. By following us on socials. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and let's get into Young Thug and everything that's been going on. Now with Young Thug, he recently spoke with to a podcast, I think Perspectives with things, and he talked about a lot with everything that's been going on with him since his arrest all the way back in 2000. And for the entire 3 hours podcast that I actually listened to and watched on YouTube. It was a lot to take in with everything that he's saying and talking about because they really talked about a lot. Some of the takeaways and things that I remember hearing him say was, talk about the entire thing with entire ordeal with Gunna and how he almost pretty much signed every single wave, Young Thug to be for life. And when you watch this part of the interview, you really see how much this bothered and how much this hurt him because he was pretty much on the verge of pulling crying right there on the set when it came to speaking about it and how he pretty much just felt betrayed by everything that he was saying with him, and he pretty much says, man, like nothing would do for him, like Thug did for Gunner and things like that too. And you could just tell that there's a lot of hurt, a lot of anger, a lot of him feeling like he's been stabbed in the back for him. But he also said, he died before he's going against Gunner. Even to this day, like he said, and also going on the podcast, I seen. The only thing he'll ever say to me is that he's going to say that he's the rat, and pretty much just going on and on and on. And another takeaway I got from it was him saying that not only he didn't facilitate everything like the setting was, pretty much feels like like he was gonna try to step on Gunna's album release that he dropped a couple months back too. I know our good friend James, he talked about it over on his Instagram page too, and how he said, at the moment he wasn't trying to, live in it, but he really thought it was a great album at the time. Does it still hold up to the right now in October 2025? That is yet to be said. That you guys can listen to and you guys can judge that. Even after all that, it says that he still has he has no hard feelings for him too, but he's just pretty much saying like after everything that's happened, I can't really rock with you anymore, and it is what it is, and they're pretty much just going to go their separate ways too. Another thing that I took away from that too was like this whole entire interrogation that had him talking to police about what set the scandal off, but he doesn't view it as snitching. So after going back to look up what the video was about, and see him, sitting in that interrogation room and everything like that. He's pretty much saying, didn't give at least any information to get eyes on anyone. He didn't tell them anything that was already known to the public. You know, with him saying that he didn't snitch, I kind of have to agree with him because, if he didn't really give them anything new or anything else to talk about, it's just like, why, what's the point of telling more information about something that people already know? So I don't think, in my personal opinion, that is. But I also do remember that he was trying to work with a female interrogator while everyone else was leaving too. Also with that as well too, he also talked about elite, I should say, phone calls about everything that he's talked about with different artists like Future. He talked about Drake. He talked about Kendrick Lamar. She pretty much admitted to cheating on his then girlfriend, the singer Mariah Scientist. Sort of pretty much apologized for it on Twitter as well. And it seemed like damage was done, and also, with everything that's happened with him and Gorilla, I do remember that he had to pretty much do a public tour. I think that was about 4 months or something like that too. He pretty much full thing off his thing to and fall out with Kendrick Drake and everything else. And he pretty much just wants them to squash everything and get back to them making music again too. He also talked about features of parenting, like see what they would say an actual woman and things like that too. Again, he has no hard feelings, nothing against them too. He also talked about ATL, certain ATL artists too, including the baby. He did want to talk about the late Rich from Quan. A couple of people still have some questions about why he didn't say what he said and things like that too. But it seems like there are still people who are still angry with him about everything that has happened as well too. And so with everything that has gone on, it feels like Gunna he recently came out with a song right before the album release called "I Miss My Dogs," and pretty much just apologized for everything that he did and everything that he said. He even said on Twitter to everyone involved in the situation, "I'm sorry, this is happening. I hope you guys can forgive me. I'm moving forward with our lives with God." He wants to now with everything that has happened. He wants to, I guess you could say. Um, Recognized as a guy who wants, unity, as unity for his Atlanta communities, and well, yeah, in Atlanta, obviously. Pretty much claimed that he squashed it with 21 and the baby, and the bird, has a couple names. He also said he wanted a conversation with Gunna as well, and pretty much wants to talk to him about how he felt about everything too, and him understand his reason. Just want to know why people, uh, why he did what he did, and hopefully, just try to put this whole thing behind him, and just wanting to move on with life. I did have some takeaways after these questions about listening to the entire I guess you could say interview that happened for 3 hours too. One of the things is, we appreciate that he was honest about cheating with Mariah Scientist, but it's pretty much something that now you can't really take back. Both of them uh, getting back together anytime soon just because he had to admit that. With him saying that Kendrick Lamar didn't put anybody on, why hasn't he worked with rappers like Moneybagg Yo. Me personally, I feel like that's something that if you're going to do that, I feel like that's something you have to do on your own. I feel like if you want that recognition, if you want to, work with some of the biggest names in rap today, I feel like you gotta work for it and you gotta, pretty much just come with bars because I feel like Kendrick is just gonna work with anybody with these subpar bars or bars that people like that too. So I definitely think that's Kendrick's choice and that's Kendrick's opinion. But that I feel like if that's something that you want to work on or that's something that you want him to be a part of, I feel like then, a he can always go and talk to him or b work hard and maybe Kendrick will recognize him for what he's doing in the near future. What else? With everything that is happening, I kind of feel I appreciate the honesty that he's been given too, but I also think when it does come to Young Thug, all he really had to do is just shut the fuck up. And I think that's what some people just really need to do when it comes to certain situations like this. And you know, and again, it's still it still confuses and shocks me that all he really had to do focus on the music, lay low, do his time, make his music, and pretty much just keep his mouth like that. It's very it's very it is very frustrating. Yeah, that would be the word for it. It's very frustrating to hear that. But I do think that, in Young Thug bounce back from this, I definitely do think over time he can with the latest album that he put out, Why Study. I personally have not heard the album yet. I got my own stuff that I'm still listening to right now. I'm still listening to Clip's album, still listening to Alfredo 2. God does like ugly. I still have that in rotation. Evidence from Dilated Peoples. He dropped Unlearning Volume 2. That's a pretty good album. I'm still enjoying Cardi B's album to my surprise, but I'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. But from what I have heard about his latest album, I definitely do think that, well, from what I'm reading, it has not been good. It's just all around trash from what I'm reading on social media, but I'm hearing from some friends, and I'm also hearing that with a lot of them, some of them are saying, yeah, you can really tell that that Gunna really had the better opinion. Uh, it is definitely going to be interesting to see where he goes. What advice he's going to follow from certain people, and how things are going to play out for him. Me personally, I just think that he's let everything all out in the open. Just lay low, focus on the music, and serve your time. That's really all that you can do from here on out for the rest of the year, and pretty much from there, pretty much to the year 2026. We'll see how that goes, and we're definitely will keep an eye on for that too. Now that that's over, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the records in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he once again had a lot people talking about him with his recent interview on Breakfast Club morning show out in New York. And this was his first, I want to say was his first appearance on the show in over 10 years, I believe. So, but anyway, Dame Dash did appear on the show. But a lot of people were talking about the exchange that happened between him and Jay Envy and Charlamagne the God. Two of the three hosts of the show, and a lot of things happen with that too. Dame practically saying like he's now the new chairman of the TV, which was once Diddy's channel, but with everything that's happened, uh, that title anytime soon. Saying he has the rights to pay. well too, but only time will tell that well too. But definitely people were practically talking about how he was going at it with especially Charlemagne the God too. With him calling out his masculinity, saying, I don't think you're the proper representation of a masculine black man. Your OG is William Williams. My OG is sitting right there with him drawing contrast between their influences and I'll definitely give it to Charlemagne. He really did help, and he really did get him with some of the jabs that Dame was throwing at him, and he definitely held his own. So I will give him that. He was also getting mad. Well, Dame Dash was also getting mad at Charlemagne with him trying to interrupt him, and him talking about Vince Williams, who was a lot of people see there was a radio DJ before she went on TV with talk show host at the time too. He also called out a video of him saying that he ran from I think like 3, 4 guys way back in the mid 20s, top tens, how he ran away, and pretty much just called him out, for him not being masculine enough. People saying that and Charlemagne asking like why he has such an issue with homosexuality, and clarifying that it doesn't at all, and he still continued, even going after, even asking the co-host like which female co-hosts on Lauren LaRosa and Justin Arias trying to get involved too, and him going after DJ Envy with this whole case, this whole house scandal that he has going on too, and you and everything that's going on too, and yeah, like I also said, he went over just clowned him for him getting jobs, and what's the whole back and forth. Like I said, they said he's been appointed chairman of both CD, you know, uh, with the day after the interview, that's when Revolta stepped in and pretty much just said, "Well, no, he's not. He does not have Solomon saying that he should start a later on called Jam, which I thought was pretty good. Jam and he has, especially considering his legal issue and money issues that he's been having these last few years. With passport payments, declaring bankruptcy back in September, and all this has been going on too. And so days after all this has happened, AIM Dash pretty much has been saying that he wants to sue the Breakfast Club for defamation after the entire interview. And he pretty much said that, suing the Breakfast Club, but also suing the name letter to cause this round and everything that was involved in this scene. Pretty much just saying that, he wants to file a lawsuit against him. And now it's just pretty much just becoming a big joke, in my opinion, to everything that is happening. And now Dane just feels like he's just born out sad with everything that has happened. But after all this has said and done, my take on the whole situation is that Dame Dash is really, one of the best I'd have to say in rap today. Well, not only in rap today, but also back then. But for me, through everything that it has that has happened, everything that's going on, everything that has come to surface, I feel like Dane is still living in that era. I feel like he's still living in that, let's say 97, 98 to mid 2000s. If I had to guess the year, I'd say maybe 2004, 2005 era um, of Rockefeller Records. The thing with Dame is that era has come and gone, and I feel like with him still living, during that time period and still thinking, he's on top of the world and money's still coming in, things like that too. But at the same time, the whole Rockefeller and state property deal and that entire era that has happened, it has come and gone. And I know because I do remember the whole Rockefeller clothing lines that they had. I do remember, movies they put out, Streets is Watching, State Property, things like that. But I definitely do think that Dave has to, as a 54-year-old man, from what I'm reading right here and explaining, it's that he has to let that era go and he has to move on from it. Because that's what's happening with Jay-Z. He eventually had to grow up, he had to let people go, and now he's known as the Brooklyn billionaire with the Basquiat dreads. Jeff the Street, he's still holding it down with Jay. And it seems like, from what I've been reading, it seems like there's still seeming like they're still on good terms. So that's a mouthful to say. Pause. Freeway, he went independent. He dropped a couple albums. To one of my favorite ones that he dropped post that, one of my favorite songs, I should say, that he dropped post Rockefeller Records and State Property era was She Makes Me Feel Alright and Jake One. As a producer, I definitely do love that track. I will bump it every now and then too. If you haven't listened to that, do yourself a favor. After this, go listen to that. It is a great track. Love the Rick James sample of that as well too. Beanie Siegel seems like he's doing all right. He's doing his own thing as well. But I do want to say that with everything that has happened, Yang has to, let that era go. And because, yeah, it was a great era, especially with, to fight. Really think the only L these took was that L against Deluxe way back a couple of years ago at during that first battle in USG. Sorry, Gary. I got to talk about it. But anyway, with that being said, yeah, I feel like Dane just really has to let that go. Definitely do feel like he has to, as a person, just try to find and build your own brand. Try to find the next, whether you want to say it's Jay-Z or Beans or Freeway or Cameron or Wells or a new group or something like that. I definitely do feel like that's something that he has to do. I definitely think that in order for his name to be what it once was way back during that time period, like I said, that he has to do that again in order to be successful and for him to make the money like the claims he's doing. But just with everything that's going on, it seems like he's just going out real sad. And like the saying goes, everybody can't go. Everybody can't, just still stay stuck doing the same thing during the same period. And over time, you really have to, up and just move on with everything that's happening. But I really think that that he has to do that in order for him to, get that image that he's had out of his mind. I feel like those are some of the things that got to happen with him because I'm pretty sure everybody from Memphis League, Way to everybody I just mentioned, and hope not, but I definitely think that's something he has to do in order to get back to where he once was. Other than that, let's go ahead. Cardi B. Well, first let's talk about Cardi B's album. So pretty much it's been a good number of years since Cardi B dropped that first album, Invasion of Privacy. Just recently, she did drop her latest album, In My Drama. And like I said, back when we were talking about Ace and all the albums and why I haven't listened to this yet, this one was surprisingly good to me. Because I really went in here thinking, I didn't really know what to expect since it has been a long time since Cardi B has dropped music of some kind to, and now with everything that's going on, especially with all the people that she's calling out, it really has taken it really has this snowball effect that seems like it's going on with this Nicki and a bunch of other female rappers. I think that like I said, I really did enjoy this album too. Especially with all the issues and people that she had coming after her too, and just going after JT and Easy Burt. One of my what has to be one of my favorite tracks off the album, Magnet, and her just going after those. Well, if from what I got from it, it seems like that's what they were who she was going after on there too, and her going after Dia on Pretty and Heavy, and after listening to that too, I just got a good laugh at first saying, name 5 Dia songs, gun pointed to your head. Wow, I'm dead. Even I had to, laugh a little bit at that too, because uh, even though I couldn't think or couldn't name 5 Dia songs off the top of my head as well too. Also on that same track, Pretty and Petty, she talked about, diarrhea, restless thing, you can snuff their cedar. It just really made me, crack up with some of these lines too. You damn near unemployed. They only book you when you can't afford Corey LeRae too. And like I said, one of my favorites was Magnet. And going back to that, I heard calling out, you know, JT and Uzi Burt, the hating ass bitch, grateful ass bitch, before she gets all this big rhyme stick and still ain't get no feature ass. She's just mad she got a nigga sharing bass with my nigga C, but I don't stick no dildo in his ass. And I'm just, just going off and just, shaking my head and just laughing at these two. Because I think the last time I was laughing this hard was, like I said, when he did something. These academic cities are fat bastards. Even throwing shade at Ice Spice too. Slow faced bitch who's thought she was naked must forever hold unlocking the domination. Man, it seems like Cardi just had smoke for everybody on this album too. There are some songs that I like too. Um, Pick it up. I really felt that the whole Selena Gomez collaboration, it felt awkward, in my opinion, especially when it comes to the chorus. Title, the ending track, Hello, talks about how fine she is. I didn't know she needs, 50 inches to her ass or something like that. When I did go back and listen to it too, Dead with Summer Walker, just an unapologetic song about how she's giving no fucks from here on out. And, I love how she saluted her Dominican roots with Bodega Daddy, Salute, Solid. I did like the beat as well. Safe with Kalani about being willing to take with men that they have in their lives. I did like Kalani. Also, Outside was another track that I enjoyed as well too. What we talked about that. I think that was like one of the first 10 episodes that we talked about with me and Jared and Kyle way back when we first started this entire podcast. Killing You Hoes. All in all, this was a very surprising album, and this was just good to me. I definitely did enjoy this. I'm not just saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because, yeah, this was definitely a great album. I enjoyed this a lot. Where is this going to rank at the end of the year on my top 10 list? Stay tuned, find out, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, with all that has been happening, it seems like now with everything that has been going on, it's now starting to snowball into a, a reignited beef, I should say, with her and Nicki Minaj and them just going back and forth on Twitter and them just having jabs on one another too. The whole thing just feels like it's just getting uglier and uglier and uglier by the minute. Them just going after each other's features, using children. And now just bringing like the kids into this too. And it's just like after just seeing this play out, I'm just like, what the fuck is going to happen now, and what the fuck is going to happen next between the two. And people seem to forget that everything that has happened was started all the way back in 2017, as just felt like more gas has just been thrown onto the fire that is these two. going all the way back to, you know, Nicki collaborating with Katy Perry on a song to, going after each other on subliminally, I should say, going after each other on Migos Motorsport to, then come into blows, which I almost forgot about at Fashion Week in 2018. You know, now after all that, it seemed like after that fight at the 2018 Fashion Week, seems like things just calmed down and cooled off all the way until 2023, where at the MTV Video Music Awards, where both rappers attended the same venues. And according to what I'm seeing right here, stage footage appeared to show Minaj visibly frustrated while Cardi was notably absent. Fans speculated with everything that is going on with, Cardi B one after calling out everyone, Sleek Audio calling out Ice Spice, JT just yesterday dropping a diss song, or yesterday I should say, since I'm recording this on October 3rd. With her going after Cardi B and very, I guess you put out. I will say I do like the beat that Jay put out, but Cardi just going after Nicki Minaj. Now it just seems like the beef between the Bodega Daddy and the social media alleged Booger Sugar Barbie is not dying anytime soon. Uh, with everything that has been going on, the social media alleged knows Candy Nikki has been doing this entire 2025, just been going off the rails and just letting her fingers, her Twitter fingers just do the work and just going after everybody. But I think the thing is with Nikki is that with Nikki, there's gonna be other female rappers that's gonna come and try to take your spot at the top. Whether it is Cardi B, whether it's JT, whether it's Ice Spice, whether it's a new female rapper, or whether it is a Rhapsody, one of our personal favorites here on the show too. There's gonna be somebody that's gonna try to take that number one spot. And if Nicki is not doing anything at the moment, or isn't doing anything at the time, then yeah, some female rapper is gonna come in and still is gonna try to take that number one spot for you, whether Nicki likes it or not. Me personally, between the two, when it comes to who put out the better album, I do have to say, even though Nicki Bates album was good, I gotta give the advantage to Cardi. Will my feelings and opinions change about that later on at the end of the year? Who knows? But right now, with everything that has been going on with the last pushing 9 years between the two, music, personal attacks, Twitter fingers between the two, even going as far as legal threats as well too. Man, like tensions are still running high, and to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if this lasts forever. A la 50 Cent and Ja Rule and everything that's been going on between those two at the time. And now I kind of see this as that female 50 Cent versus Ja Rule as well too. And so now the only thing I can say is this is not going to end well between the two. Me personally, I feel like, especially when you consider Nicki's age, who is 42 pushing 43, that you shouldn't be acting like. I feel like somebody has to be the mature person in this situation, and somebody just has to grow the fuck up. Somebody just has to, just move on from the situation. The two, there is no let up. I feel like between the two, this is gonna, really come to blows. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I definitely do feel like this is going to just really result in somebody, whether it is, this is really, this really just needs to find a way to, have the two, um, just have someone, like I said, just grow up. just really figure out a way to, just mature and just put all this bullshit that's going on to bed, or, just not really engage in the beat. Because I definitely do think that, again, this isn't going to end well. I definitely do think that Nicki Minaj just needs to, be the adult in this situation, and especially with everything that's been going on with her, Drake, and Lil Wayne. Young Money is definitely going out sad in 2025. Will things change with Drake dropping this Iceman album pretty soon? Who knows? So far for me, it's with everything that he's been putting out and everything that he's releasing, I don't think things are going to change because, if the charts and stats are showing with, which one and what did I miss and things like that too. I don't know if well, something does tell me that Drake's album will debut at number one. I'll be shocked. I won't be shocked and surprised if it doesn't, since Drake is one of the biggest artists, the rap artists in the world, and I use the term rap loosely. But I definitely do think that might be the only saving grace for the Young Money camp this year in 2025. Only time will tell. Only we know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I definitely do think somebody just has to grow up and just move on from this entire situation. But it does seem like Cardi does have the upper hand. Yeah, I definitely just want somebody out of this situation to just need the mature adults, because it does it's just a lot of in-house fighting. But other than that, let's go ahead. Let's start wrapping up the show here. Shout outs in the album, and I'll get to my album recommendation here in a bit. Shout out to everyone who is still, listening, even though I'm trying to get the show back on to where it is and how it is and things like that too. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for hearing my great voice on wherever you listen to podcasts. Whether it is here on Spotify, whether it's iHeart, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. I just been informed that we're a part of the Odyssey family, AUDA CY. I think that's how you spelled it. So shout out to them for having us be part of their family too, to where you can listen to. And we thank you guys for that. Also, shop the store. I will be wearing one of our low bar t-shirts that I personally designed on one of these episodes here soon. So that way you know what we have, what to expect, and what to look out for too. I am also thinking of making some more new designs for the store too. Shout out to Lord Frankie, aka Kai. He recently had a birthday. He was DJing for his birthday down there in Hinesville, Georgia, Southeast Georgia, for those who don't know where that is too. Also, follow him, like I said, on social, somewhere in the show notes that we have posted somewhere down there. Anyway, also shout out to Jared as well too. Things out. Still trying to work on how having him get back here on the show as well too. But for now, it's just me holding things down. I hope you guys really are listening and enjoying some of these bonus episodes that I'm putting out. These classic rap report card reviews. Just recently did two of them. We did. First one was like Pablo, and the second one we just that I just did was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Yeah, you could also tell how much I was stumbling over my words then, and how I couldn't really get them out. The truth is, I'm still nervous doing this. 5 years later, I'm still nervous about talking and, being a little afraid of hearing my voice going around and, just having people like and just going around and hearing my grating voice. It's a little shock to me as well too. But anyway, other than that, my album recommendation for episode 83, like I said, I was listening to a lot, but I will Evidence from Dilated People, which is out of LA. He recently dropped Unlearning Volume 2. It really is great album, in my opinion. He did have Alchemist work on this too. Some of my favorite tracks that I've been listening to as well, especially since he was dropping tracks left and right. And when you do go back and listen to this, you can definitely tell that he has stepped up. He has improved his rapping a lot since dropping that first album, the Weatherman LP, I want to say over 2 years ago. Anyway, some of my favorite tracks off this album do include Made Every Season. I definitely do love that. It's one of my favorite beats from Alchemist this year, alongside some of my favorites off the Alfredo 2 album. Team Devil, Nothing to See Here, Out of Bounds. Yeah, there was another one too that I can't think of right now. But definitely worth checking out as well too. I'm learning Volume 2. Go check it out. It's definitely worth listening. Miss the Smoke Lord does it again. But other than that, I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it. Episode 83. And as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for this episode. If you're watching on Spotify, you get to see me and my open love, migrating, hear my grading voice being broadcast to you. And we thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for still sticking with us. We thank you guys for still listening in. And as always, we thank you. And we'll see you next time for another episode of Lower Moran's podcast. Again, thank you, and we are out of here. Peace.